Hey everyone! Welcome back to Done For You, your go-to place for quick and easy content creation tips. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to add some amazing text effects to your videos using CapCut. Whether you're creating content for TikTok, Instagram Reels, or YouTube Shorts, eye-catching text animations can take your videos to the next level. And the best part is, it's super simple. So stick around because we're diving straight into CapCut and I'll walk you through it step by step. So first, let's open CapCut and get started with creating our video. To begin, we need to import our sample video into the media section. Once the video is imported, simply drag it onto the timeline. Now that we have our video in place, it's time to add some text. But before we do that, let's duplicate the video layer. Right-click on the video and you'll see an option to copy it. Click Copy, then paste it using Ctrl+V. The duplicated clip will appear above the original. Now, make sure this duplicate layer is perfectly aligned with the original. It should start and end at the exact same points, so the overlay works correctly. Next, let's move on to adding our text. Head over to the Text tools and select the Default Text option. Drag and drop the default text box onto the timeline where you want it to appear. Now, let's edit the content. For this video, I'm going to type in the word Discover. Choose a font that fits the mood. For this one, I'm going with a bold, larger font that stands out nicely. We can also adjust the color to make it more visually appealing. Since our scene features the ocean in the background, I'll go with a shade of blue to match the vibe. Now that the text is ready, we need to position it correctly. Place the text layer in between the two video layers, the original at the bottom and the duplicate on top. At first, you won't see the text clearly because it's hidden behind the top layer. To fix that, select the upper video layer and choose the Remove Background option. From there, select Auto Removal. CapCut will process the clip and automatically remove the background, leaving only the subject in view. Once that's done, you'll notice the text now appears behind the subject, giving it a really cool layered effect. To enhance it even more, let's add some animation to the text. Select the text layer. Go to the Animation tab and choose an In Animation. For this one, I'll go with a fade in effect. Let's preview it to see how it looks. If needed, we can adjust the animation duration. I'll increase it slightly to around 0.9 seconds so the transition feels smooth and natural. And there you go. Just like that, we've created our first stylish text effect with background separation and animation. Okay, so for our next text effect video, let's use another stock video. I've selected this one. Just drag it onto the timeline. It's a simple video showing a flower vase, and now we're going to add some creative text to it. Let's start by adding a default text. I'll type in, "Have a lovely day." Now let's change the font to something cooler and more stylish. I'm going with this one. It stands out nicely. We'll keep the font color white since we're going to add a background behind the text to make it pop. Make sure the text layer is stretched across the whole clip so it stays visible the entire time. Now let's add that background. Go to Media, then to the Library, and search for a solid black background. This one looks great. It's clean and consistent in color. Drag it onto the timeline. Place this black background layer between the video clip and the text layer and trim it so it matches the duration of your video. Next, we'll add a mask effect to this black background. Adjust the mask ratio so it aligns proportionally with the text. Just enough to highlight it without overwhelming the video. Now that it's covering the text, let's animate it using keyframes. Start by adding a keyframe at the beginning of the text layer. At this point, the background should be almost invisible. Then move to the end of the text and add another keyframe. At this point, drag and expand the background mask so that it fully covers the text. Now, as you play the clip, you'll see the background gradually appear behind the text. It looks clean, but a bit slow. It feels slightly dull, so let's make it more dynamic. To speed it up, simply drag the last keyframe closer to the beginning, somewhere just before the middle of the video. Now, when we play it back, the background animates in much faster and looks a lot better. And that's how you can easily add a background highlight to your text using CapCut, giving it a smooth, professional look. So, to begin, let's head over to the Media Library, and from there, go to Backgrounds. Look for a solid black background. Here it is. Just drag it to the timeline. Now that we have it in place, we're going to add a text layer on top of it. Let's type in our text. I'll go with something simple like dessert in all caps. Next, I'll search for a good font. For this one, I'll use Impact. It's bold and visually strong, which looks great for this effect. Now, let's adjust the font size. I'll increase it to fill the frame as much as possible, using the maximum space available. Once that's done, check to make sure the background and the text are aligned in the same ratio. If everything looks good, select both layers, right-click, and choose Create Compound Clip. Now that we've created the compound clip, let's go back to the Media section and grab the actual dessert clip we imported earlier. Drag it to the timeline and place it underneath the compound text layer. Rearrange the layers so the text stays on top. Since this clip is only for demonstration, we don't need the full length. So let's trim it down to around 10 seconds. Next, open the blend mode and choose Multiply. This will allow the video below to show through the text. Now, copy the video clip using Ctrl+C and paste it directly above the original, placing it in the same spot so both clips are aligned perfectly. Let's hide the upper layer for now and work on the lower one first. With the lower video selected, go to the mask settings and apply a split mask. We'll animate this using keyframes to create our split screen effect. Start by adding a keyframe where you want the effect to begin. I think this point works well. Then add another keyframe a few seconds later where you want the split screen to vanish. At this point, move the mask out of the frame so it gradually disappears. Now let's go back and work on the upper video layer. Unhide it and move to the same point where we started the first keyframe on the lower clip. Add a keyframe here too. Apply a split mask and then rotate the mask 180 degrees. This makes the effect mirror the first one. Next, go to the second keyframe on the timeline. Select the upper video again and add the second keyframe for this clip. Adjust the mask so it moves out in the opposite direction, just like the lower one, but in reverse. Now, if we play the video, you'll see a smooth split-screen text effect, where both clips animate out in opposite directions, revealing the motion through the text. And there you go! That's how you can create a professional-looking split-screen animated text effect using CapCut. Okay, so in this video, we'll be using some of the same techniques we covered in the previous one. First, let's add a black background from the media library. If you can't find it right away, just go to the background section. You'll see it there. Drag and drop it onto the timeline. Now, let's add our text. Create a text box and place it above the black background layer. For this example, I'm going to type in Florida. Just like before, we'll capitalize the text and choose a video-style font, but unlike last time, we won't maximize it to fill the entire screen. Instead, we'll scale it down to a balanced ratio that doesn't fully cover the background. Once that's done, select both the text and the background, right-click, and choose Create Compound Clip. This will merge the two layers into one. Now, let's add the stock footage we imported earlier. This is a nice video clip of Florida City. Drag it onto the timeline and trim it down to about 10 seconds so we're working with a clean, short clip. With both the video and the text overlay in place, select the compound clip with the text, right-click, go to Video, then to the Blend option and set it to Multiply. This will make the text transparent and allow the video beneath it to show through. Next, we'll use keyframes to create a zoom effect on the video. Start by adding a keyframe at the beginning where the scale is normal. Then drag to the point in the timeline where you want the zoom to complete. At that point, add another keyframe and increase the scale slightly to create a smooth zoom-in effect. To make the animation feel more natural, I suggest starting the first keyframe about 1 or 2 seconds into the clip. Then drag the ending keyframe toward the final portion of the clip, so the zoom happens gradually. Now, let's make it even better by adding an out animation. For this, we'll use a fade-out animation, so the text and video blend out smoothly at the end. Let's play it back and see how it looks. If the ending still feels a bit abrupt, we can speed up the out animation slightly. Since we're working with a 5-second section here, just shift the final keyframe slightly earlier to tighten the effect. There you go! We now have a clean and professional-looking zooming text effect with a fade-out. Perfect for title sequences or cinematic intros. Simple, smooth, and eye-catching. Alright, so in this video, we'll be using some of the same techniques from the previous one to create a glowing RGB text effect using CapCut. Let's start by opening CapCut and going into the Media Library. Under the Trending section, you'll usually find a black screen background. If it doesn't show up right away, just type black screen into the search bar. I've already added the black screen to the background, so we're ready to move on. Next, we'll add a text layer. Just insert a text box over the black background and stretch it out to match the length of the clip. Then, just type in a text for the animation, whatever you like. I will type here, glowing RGB text effects. Select a font. I recommend going with something bold and impactful. I will use the impact font and put it in all caps. Now, let's bring some movement to the text. Go to the Animations tab, select the Loop category, and choose the Wave 3 animation. It creates a waving posture, but the speed may feel too slow by default, so increase the speed for a more dynamic effect. Also, bump up the text size slightly to make it stand out more. Once you're happy with how it looks, let's turn it into a compound clip. Select both the text and the black background layers, right-click, and choose Create Compound Clip. Now, it's time to add that RGB glow. Head over to Effects, search for Edge Glow, and select the first option that appears. Drag it over your compound clip in the timeline. And just like that, we now have a glowing text effect. To take it a step further, let's add RGB light streaks. Go back to the media library, search for RGB screen, and choose a clip you like. We'll take a screenshot of the RGB visual instead of using the full clip. Delete the video file and drag the screenshot onto the timeline, placing it over the glowing text layer. Now select the RGB screenshot layer, go to the Blend settings, and choose Multiply. You'll now have a vibrant RGB glowing text effect that pops beautifully on screen. Next, let's create a color-changing text animation using background masking. Head back to the media library, go to Backgrounds, and select a solid color. I'll use a basic color. Drag and drop it onto the timeline and stretch it to fit the 16:9 ratio so it fills the screen. Now add a text box, match it to the length of the background clip, and type in your desired text. Adjust the font and resize it to fit nicely within the frame. Next, select the solid background, copy it using Ctrl+C, and paste it just above the original layer with Ctrl+V. For this second background, we'll change its color. If you already have a colored background clip ready, you can use that instead. But for now, I will go to the canvas settings and select a new color. Let's say orange. Now we'll hide the orange layer temporarily and keep it ready for the mask effect. Select the orange background and the text layer, then right-click and create a compound clip. Drag it back to the timeline above the original background. Now let's apply a mask to this clip. Use the rectangular mask and adjust the height so it just covers the text, like a slim line running across it. Position it at the start of the timeline, then use keyframes to animate it. Add your first keyframe at the starting position, then another one where you want the animation to complete. Stretch the mask out gradually to cover the entire text over time. This gives a clean, sweeping color animation effect. Now, let's make the text change color as well. Copy the original text layer, paste it onto the topmost layer, and change the text color to match the orange mask we just created. Use the color picker tool for an exact match. Once that's done, turn this into another compound clip. and add a matching rectangular mask to this text layer. Again, animate the mask with keyframes. Start with a narrow mask, and as the video plays, stretch it out to reveal the full text in the new color. Make sure the timing of the keyframes matches the mask on the background layer. This creates a seamless transition where both the background color and the text color change together, giving a super polished and modern look. Play the video through, and there you go! You now have a stunning animated color-changing text effect using CapCut. Perfect for titles, intros, or any video that needs a bold, stylish look. And that's it for this tutorial. If this video helped you out, don't forget to give it a like and share it with someone who's also getting into video editing. Drop a comment below and let us know what kind of CapCut tricks or edits you'd like to see in the next video. And hey, if you're a beginner using CapCut on mobile or PC, make sure to check out our previous videos where we break down the basics step by step. Don't worry if you don't get it all on the first try. Feel free to pause the video, go back, and rewatch any part as many times as you need. That's the best way to really get the hang of these effects in CapCut. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy editing!